Welcome to Trending Today podcast. Everything you missed today in 15 minutes. Intel's shaking up the GPU scene, right? Big time. Battlemage is finally dropping.
Yeah. December 12th, mark your calendars, people. It's not just one day, though, is it?
Nope, 2-day extravaganza. Day 1, December 12th. Intel's own limited edition cards, the B580 and B570, plus early reviews.
Ooh, limited edition. Gotta snag one of those. What about the other manufacturers?
Day 2 is their party, the 13th. ASRock, Acer, Sparkle, all the usual suspects. They get to show off their AIB models, and we get more reviews. Smart move by Intel, controlling that first impression.
Totally. Gives them a chance to shine. So these B580 and B570, what's the deal?
B580 is the flagship, the big kahuna. 12 gigabytes of GDDR6, 192-bit memory interface, boost clock up to 2.8 gigahertz.
Whoa. That's some serious hardware. And the B570?
Slightly toned down, but still packs a punch. 10 gigabytes of GDDR6, 8-pin PCIe power, and a bit lower clock speed, but aiming for that sweet $219 price point.
Value option, nice. But how do they stack up against, the big boys, NVIDIA and AMD?
That's the million-dollar question. The B580 is slated for $249, that limited edition. So mid-range market, but Intel's banking on better price to performance. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. But remember what happened with Alchemist? Those driver issues were rough.
Tell me about it. Battlemage absolutely has to nail the driver support out of the gate. No excuses this time.
Exactly. Smooth, stable experience is crucial. And of course, those benchmarks.
December 12th and 13th, the truth will be revealed. Independent reviews are everything. Performance is king, remember?
Absolutely. And how they price the whole lineup is going to be a big deal?
No doubt. Pricing strategy makes or breaks it. Competitive positioning, adoption rates, the whole 9 yards. But hey, they're thinking long-term, right? Celestial and Druid are on the horizon.
Yeah, I've heard whispers, Celestial and Druid. They're not messing around. So this Battlemage launch, it's more than just a couple of new cards.
It's a statement. Intel's throwing down the gauntlet, challenging the old guard, giving PC gamers more options, hopefully more affordable ones. December 12th and 13th, it all goes down. Game on.
Can't wait to see how it plays out. It's going to be huge. This has been Trending Today podcast, keeping you in the loop. Catch you next time.
So, December 12th, huh? Big day for Intel. They're really trying to make a splash with these limited edition cards.
Yeah, the B580 and B570. Smart move, releasing them first, getting those initial reviews out.
Definitely. Control the narrative, right? First impressions are everything in this market. But, slightly more expensive, you said, for the limited editions?
That's what I've heard. Early adopters tax, maybe? Gotta have the bragging rights, I suppose.
Huh. True. But then, bam, day 2, everyone else jumps in. ASRock, Acer, Sparkle.
More cards, more reviews. It'll be interesting to see how the pricing compares between Intel's own and the AIB models.
Oh, for sure. That's going to be key. If the AIB cards are significantly cheaper, well, that could be a bit awkward for Intel, right?
Yeah, a little. But, limited edition, right? There's that cachet. But, yeah, pricing will be a big factor, no doubt.
So, staggered release, huh? Intel's playing it smart. Get those limited edition cards out first, generate buzz, then bam, the floodgates open.
Yeah. Control that first impression. But let's talk specs. This B580, they're not holding back.
12 gigabytes of GDDR6, 192-bit memory interface, 2.8 gigahertz boost clock. Someone's been hitting the gym.
Seriously. And did you catch that TFLOPS number, 14.3? That's respectable.
Respectable? That's a power move. They're aiming straight for the mid-range market, but with high-end aspirations.
Right. Targeting that sweet spot. Price to performance is going to be key here. Got to be competitive.
Totally. But what about the B570, the more budget-friendly option?
Yeah, the little sibling. Still pretty beefy, though. 10 gigabytes of GDDR6. Not too shabby.
Not at all. 8-pin and PCIe power connector, so, it's got some juice. Just a slightly lower clock speed, I guess. But hey, aiming for that $219 price point, that's attractive.
Very attractive. Got to give options, right? Something for everyone. So 20x E2 cores in the B580, that's interesting.
Yeah? What's the significance there?
Well, it shows they're building upon the Alchemist architecture, but, refined, improved. Hopefully those driver issues are a thing of the past.
Fingers crossed. Driver stability is everything. No more launch day disasters, please.
Agreed. Smooth, stable performance is non-negotiable. But these specs, they sound promising.
On paper they do, but the real test is in the benchmarks, right? Real-world performance. Gaming experience, that's what matters.
Absolutely. And those independent reviews, they'll tell the whole story?
So 20x C2 cores, huh? That's a notable jump from Alchemist, right?
Yeah, definitely. A significant improvement, they're claiming. Improved architecture, better performance. supposedly.
Well, we'll see. Benchmarks will tell the tale. But on paper, intriguing.
Intriguing indeed. Especially that B580, 12 gigabytes of GDDR6, 192-bit memory interface. That's not messing around.
Not at all. And that 2.8 gigahertz boost clock? Someone's been doing their homework, targeting that mid-range market, but with some serious muscle.
For sure. But what about the B570, the more accessible option?
Sound effect, brief, game loading sound. The B570? Yeah, still pretty beefy. 10 gigabytes of GDDR6 is nothing to sneeze at.
Right. And an 8-pin PCIe power connector, so, it's got some juice. Just a slightly lower clock speed, I gather.
And a 160-bit memory interface, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, that $219 price point, that's tempting.
Very tempting. Gotta offer options, right? Something for every budget. So these XE2 cores, improved architecture, hopefully better drivers too.
Let's hope so. Driver stability is paramount. No more Alchemist-style hiccups, please.
Agreed. Smooth, stable performance is non-negotiable these days. But, these specs, they do sound promising, on paper at least.
Okay, so the B570, right? A little less oof than the B580, but still 10 gigabytes of GDDR6? Not bad.
Not bad at all, especially at that price point. Around $219, you said?
Yeah, that's the target. Makes it a very attractive option for budget-conscious gamers. Those who want a decent upgrade without breaking the bank.
Totally. Because, let's be real, GPU prices can be eye-watering.
Tell me about it. So, this B570, it's kind of like the gateway drug to the Battlemage experience?
Ha! I like that analogy. Get a taste of the new architecture, the XE2 cores, without committing to the flagship model.
Exactly. And speaking of the B580, $249 for the limited edition, huh? Not exactly cheap.
Well, it is the flagship, right? 12 gigabytes of GDDR6, that faster clock speed, you got to pay for premium performance.
True. But how does that stack up against the competition, NVIDIA and AMD?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Price to performance is everything in this market. Intel's got to deliver.
They do. They absolutely do. Because if those benchmarks don't impress, it could be another Alchemist situation.
Ooh, let's not even go there. Driver issues, remember? Shutters.
Yeah, let's hope they learned their lesson. Battlemage needs to be smooth sailing from day one. No excuses.
Agreed. Stable drivers, solid performance, competitive pricing. That's the recipe for success.
Okay, so the B570, right? 10 gigabytes of GDDR6, not bad. But will it be enough? This whole Battlemage launch, it's riding on a lot, isn't it?
It is. A lot. Like, a whole lot riding on it. More than just specs and pricing.
Exactly. Like driver support, for instance. They have to nail that this time. Remember Alchemist? Shutters?
Oh, don't remind me. Those driver issues were a nightmare. If Battlemage has even a whiff of those problems...
It's over. Game over. They've got to have a smooth, stable, out-of-the-box experience. No excuses.
Absolutely. Consumer confidence is everything. First impressions matter, and...
And if those first impressions are laggy gameplay and crashing, forget it.
Yeah. So driver support? Crucial. Non-negotiable. But then there's the elephant in the room.
Performance. Benchmarks. The real-world test. How do these cards actually perform in games?
Right? Because specs on paper are one thing, but actual gaming experience, that's what matters.
Totally. And that's where those independent reviews come in, right? December 12th and 13th. Judgment Day.
Yeah. Those reviews will make or break Battlemage. No hype, no marketing spin, just raw performance data.
Exactly. Frames per second, resolution, settings, the whole 9 yards.
Uh-huh. And how they stack up against the competition, of course. NVIDIA, AMD, they've got to be competitive.
They do. Price to performance is everything in this market. If they can't deliver on that,
it's back to the drawing board. So, yeah, driver support, benchmarks, those are the keys to the kingdom.
Okay, so the B570 tempting price, decent specs, but will it be enough? This whole Battlemage launch, it's riding on a lot, isn't it?
It is. It's riding on, well, everything. It's not just about these two cards, is it? It's about Intel's whole GPU future.
Right? Like they're making a statement here, we're serious about graphics cards, we're here to stay. But they have to deliver.
Totally. And that means driver support. They absolutely have to nail that this time. Remember Alchemist? Shutters?
Oh, let's not even talk about Alchemist. If Battlemage has those same driver issues, it's game over.
Yeah, they've got to have a smooth, stable, out-of-the-box experience. No excuses this time around. Consumer confidence is key.
Absolutely. First impressions are everything. And if those first impressions are lag and crashes, forget it.
Yeah. So driver support is paramount. But then there's the other big thing.
Performance, right? Benchmarks. How do these cards actually perform?
Exactly. Specs on paper are one thing, but real-world gaming? That's what matters. That's the bottom line.
And that's where those independent reviews come in, December 12th and 13th. Judgment Day.
Yeah, those reviews will make or break Battlemage. No hype, no marketing, just raw performance data.
Frames per second, resolution, settings, the whole 9 yards. And how they stack up against the competition, of course.
Right. NVIDIA, AMD, they gotta be competitive. Price to performance is king in this market.
Totally. If they can't deliver on that, well, it's back to the drawing board.
Sound effect, short, futuristic jingle. So, beyond Battlemage, what's next for Intel? They're not just gonna stop here, are they?
Not a chance. They've got bigger plans. Celestial, Druid. Have you heard those names?
Whispers. Just whispers, but intriguing whispers.
They're not messing around. They're in it for the long haul. This isn't a one-off. They're building a whole GPU ecosystem.
So this Battlemage launch, it's more than just 2 new graphics cards.
It's a statement of intent, a challenge to the established order. It's the beginning of something big.
And the pricing? That's going to be crucial, right? For the whole lineup, not just these 2 cards. The overall strategy.
Absolutely. Competitive positioning, adoption rates, the whole ballgame. They got to get it right.
Yeah, no pressure, Intel. But hey, if they can pull this off, game changer.
Okay, so the B570, tempting price, decent specs. But will it really be enough? This whole Battlemage launch, it's riding on a lot, isn't it?
It is. It's riding on, well, everything. It's not just about these 2 cards, is it? It's about Intel's entire GPU future. Their whole strategy hinges on this.
Right? They're making a statement. We're serious about graphics cards. We're here to stay. We're a real contender. But talk is cheap. They have to deliver real results, real performance.
Exactly. And that means rock-solid driver support. Absolutely have to nail that this time. No more Alchemist unpleasantness.
Ugh, let's not even go there. If Battlemage suffers from those same driver issues, it's a disaster, potentially catastrophic.
Yeah. They've got to have a smooth, stable, out-of-the-box experience. No excuses this time around. Consumer confidence is everything. They erode that, they're in trouble.
Totally. First impressions are crucial. And if those first impressions are lag, glitches, crashes, they might as well pack it up.
Yeah. So driver support is non-negotiable. But then the real test.
Performance, right? Benchmarks. Real-world gaming. How do these cards actually perform? Not in a lab, not in theory, but in the hands of gamers.
Precisely. Specs on paper are just numbers. Real-world gaming? That's what truly matters. That's the bottom line. That's what people pay for.
Absolutely. And that's where independent reviews come in, December 12th and 13th. The moment of truth. No marketing spin, no hype, just the cold, hard facts.
Yeah. Those reviews will determine Battlemage's fate, sink or swim. No pressure, Intel. Just the future of your entire GPU division riding on these reviews. No biggie.
Frames per second, resolution, all that, but the real question is, will it run Crysis?
Ha! The ultimate test. But seriously, though, those benchmarks, they're going to be crucial, especially against the competition.
Yeah. NVIDIA and AMD, they're not just going to roll over. This is a battle for market share, right? A battle for, well, bragging rights.
Totally. My GPU is better than your GPU. That's a timeless debate. But you mentioned Celestial and Druid. What's the scoop there?
Future stuff. Next-general whispers and rumors, mostly. But it shows Intel's commitment, right? They're not just dipping their toes in the water.
Yeah, they're diving in headfirst. Cannonball. So Battlemage is just the beginning, the opening salvo?
Looks like it. They're building a whole GPU empire. Or trying to, anyway. Ambitious, for sure.
Ambitious indeed. But hey, competition is good, right? Good for consumers. More options, hopefully lower prices.
Yeah. More competition in the GPU space is exactly what we need. Keeps everyone on their toes. Innovation, better products, the whole shebang.
Exactly. So December 12th and 13th, mark your calendars, folks. The Battlemage launch, it's going to be interesting.
Interesting is an understatement. This could be a real turning point for the GPU market. Or a spectacular flop.
Huh. True. High stakes, high reward, high risk, the whole enchilada. But hey, that's what makes it exciting, right?
Exactly. The drama, the anticipation. It's what we live for. So wrap things up. Battlemage, December 12th and 13th. Be there or be square.
And be sure to check back with us for all the latest updates, benchmarks, and reviews. We'll break it all down for you right here on Trending Today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Catch you next time.